Good morning, students. This is Veena Anand from Jindal College. Today, we all have assembled here to know something about entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship in itself is a great thing to achieve. Your father, your forefathers, or in your family, there might be entrepreneurs, isn't it? Even you might be having a thing, or you might be having a dream of becoming an entrepreneur. From the day starts, sun rises, you all will be having a new challenges in front of you, which you have to face in your day-to-day life, in your routine life. To come to college, you might search new things, new ways to reach the college fast. One day you might come in bike, one day you might come on your walk, one day you might come through bus. But it depends upon the circumstances, it depends upon the time, it depends upon too many circumstances or the constraints which will be there, which force you to do some of the activities. Even now, when we think about the entrepreneur, there are so many challenges to be heard or to be unheard. Now, entrepreneur in itself is a psychological or a cultural factor. The level of education what you are having, the perception what you are having, the thing what you understand, everything depends upon the person who thinks that entrepreneurship have to be done. If we see the growing unemployment in the present scenario, in especially in India, the unemployment problem is rising every now and then. Unemployment situation was there during the 90s also, but now it has increased considerably because the persons who are going to earn the livelihood is only one, and those who are dependent on him are much more than that. So this is a scenario wherein government of India has launched so many programs. They have launched the policies, the procedures, so that every youth can do an entrepreneur, or every youth can become an entrepreneur. Friends, have you ever thought that there might be another entrepreneurship who is from our the soil, or who is the farmer? The farmer who is there in India, even he is an entrepreneur, but we have never thought that yes, he is an entrepreneur and he needs the support of us all. True, entrepreneurs are bought, entrepreneurs are born. Yes, entrepreneurs are born from the Mother Earth. From the grassroots level, if we think, then entrepreneurs are those who come from the scratches. They have come from the scratches and they have reached the riches. They have become very rich within a shorter period of time. Of course, all sorts of glitches were there, and they have come across all those situations, and now they have become very rich, they have become successful in entrepreneur. There are so many examples, n number of examples are there which speaks about the entrepreneurial activity. In rural areas especially, the unemployment problem has grown, has sprouted out like anything, and that is the reason why there is migration from the rural areas to the urban areas where they come in search of job. And here there is too much of exploitation from the industrialists which are there. The economical imbalance, regional imbalance what we are having in India, it is forcing these people to become an entrepreneur. Yes friends, today we are going to speak about agri entrepreneurship. What is agri entrepreneurship? It is the person, or it is the business in agriculture. Business in agriculture sounds very rare, sounds very good, and sometimes it sounds like a great opportunity for you people. If I speak about the Bangaloreans or any of the urban students, they think that going and doing entrepreneurship in rural areas is next to impossible. But if you think, there is great opportunity even over there. In this case, I would like to tell you a small story wherein there were two market people. They were being appointed for a shoemaking company. You might have heard about the story, but I would like to tell a story. One person this person, they had told that you have to go and sell the shoes in African jungle. So this person, Mr. A, he went to African jungle and there he launched the product, and then he came back by telling, I cannot go and sell this shoes because they are still early mans. They don't know how to wear the clothes. These person don't know the importance of wearing the clothes. Then how can I sell them the shoes? So he was rejected. The second person came, Mr. B. For him also the same task was being given. And when he reached the destination with a whole lot of shoes, immediately he called a salesperson as well as a HR person. He told, I need 2 lots of the shoes immediately because the market is open. Nobody have launched here. And this is the scenario what is happening in India, especially for agriculture. This is untouched, unsung saga where nobody is going to have the entrepreneurial activity that is in agribusiness. Friends, do you know we were having a pandemic? We are having a pandemic still now. The only industry, the only business which has flourished like anything, which has reached its highest point, which has made our India highest in GDP is nothing than the agribusiness. They are the one who have gained the success in agribusiness even though it is pandemic, because we cannot survive without food, and food is being given by the farmers. Yes, friends, this is the field which is untouched, and if you people, if you students, if you can become the future entrepreneurs, I bet you will become one of the greatest entrepreneur in India. Sorry. So let us study what are the functions of agri-entrepreneurship. You have the farming schemes. They are going to assume the risk. They are going to earn the profits, and they identify the agricultural business related opportunities, and they start the business either through a farmer or through a distributor. Every person cannot become a farmer and every person cannot become a distributor, but a farmer who has become know how to distribute his goods. He know how to have the goods to be sold in the market. He know the technique, he know the tactics as to who, what, how, when the goods have to be sold. And the importance of agri-entrepreneurship, it's very important because it helps us to reduce the poverty as well as the unemployment. Guessing how? Yes, this is very possible because India is made up of 60 to 65% of rural areas. These rural areas, they depend upon the agricultural land. They depend upon Mother Earth. So when they depend upon Mother Earth, it is forbidden that they have to go to Mother Earth only. It is labor intensive. Every now and then you need labors to sow the seeds, to plow the fields, to have the harvesting. Everything needs labor, and these labors need not be always the educated. Illiterates can also do the work. They must be given a full salary, a promising salary or a promising wages must be given to these workers or to the laborers who come and do the work in your fields. You will be having a balanced country development. Now we are having a regional imbalance. The best example I can give you regional imbalance is the Seven Sisters state which is there in the eastern country. These eastern countries, the industry setup are very less, but if you come across the southern states, especially in Karnataka, we are having so many industries, isn't it? So there is regional imbalance, but if you become a rural entrepreneur or if you become an agri entrepreneur, then this imbalance will be abolished. You will be having the improvement in the per capita income. It will increase the GDP. Just imagine the goods, the products which are manufactured in our motherland, they are being exported We know rice, India is the second largest producer of rice as well as export of rice. Sugarcane, if you see, or sugar, if you take for an example, India is also leading exporter in sugar. Then when we can export high quality of goods, high quality of products to the foreign countries, then why can't we go into rural entrepreneurship? We cannot always depend upon the farmers to do the farming and then give us the product and then we will do the exports. Instead, we ourselves can go to the fields, do all the work, become the farmer, and then we can do all sorts of entrepreneurial business so that we can earn the income. It is not that only the uneducated people should do it, should do the farming. No, it's a wrong conception. Even the educated youths nowadays, they are finding their destiny, they are finding their life's destiny in the rural areas itself. There are so many examples, especially in India. I will be taking up in another few minutes. Now, this is the actual system where we can tell that we can become agri-entrepreneurship. You can go upon doing the custom crop harvesting. We can take the operating the roadside market selling produce, or we can have some of the equipments where we can tend or where we can give these plant and machineries to the farmers so that we can earn money. Best examples is the tractors, the tillers, or such type of machineries which the farmers cannot afford to. We can have such type of machineries, the tractors, lawn maintenance services, etc. so that we can tend these to the farmers and we can earn money. Now this agriculture has become an important and a dominant sector in Indian economy because of its high share in the employment, and it is being the source of livelihood for approximately 70% of the population. It depends upon agriculture, and we are the highest contributor of GDP. Usually it is untouched path where the economist or the analyst, they think that agriculture has not brought anything to the GDP. No, but it is wrong. About 60% of that is bought in the GDP. Then if we will think about the agriculture itself, food and nutrition sector has bought about 1.3 billion people, and it creates employment opportunities to 60% of the Indian population. It has achieved a substantial progress over the years regarding the food security, accessibility, affordability, as well as in the low profitability, low productivity, increase in the cost of outputs, wastage of the crops, lack of storage, etc. So these are some of the challenges where we have to become a host for the agri-entrepreneurs. Now, agri-entrepreneurs, they employ all sorts of entrepreneurial skills. The models, innovative ideas are being given so that you can solve the economical problems in the agriculture, and you can increase the profitability of the farm business. Agri-entrepreneurship also play a significant role in solving the challenges which are relating to the information, dissemination, farm management, floriculture, tourism, agri-tourism, etc. And at last, the agriculture supply chain management is also an emerging sector. This emerging sector is also untouched. According to the latest data which I have taken out, AgTech investing report from the year 2016, there is a glance or there is a statistical data that which tells that a sum of $3.23 million was invested in agriculture sector worldwide, and out of which 53 Indian agri-tech startups managed to raise $313 million. Isn't it very high, dear friends? Isn't it very high? Yes, this is very high. We can have such type of changing scenarios even in India. It's not only in America, even we can do all such type of changes. Now let us study the opportunities, the challenges and the opportunities in the agriculture. The first and the foremost is this crop productivity. Now what is this crop productivity? Crop productivity, it aims at the agriculture sector, those sectors, the areas in which the raise of the crops is very high or it is intensified. Currently India produces around 2.4 tons per hectare of rice and 3.14 ton hectare of wheat, which is far below than the China's yield. China's yield is only 4.7 per hectare of rice and 4.9 hectare per ton for wheat. This is very much more lesser than China. Yes, Indian entrepreneurs can choose this as their entrepreneurial activity in farm production. Now let us go for the cost wise, the input cost for the production or input cost for agriculture. Currently, for an output of rupees 100, the input cost is just rupees 64. Isn't it not good? Well, now this can be turned, so there is a profit of 36 rupees for every 100 rupees spent by an Indian entrepreneur. So this is a low profit business enterprise, and again it may lead to crisis, but you have to check it twice when you are going to invest the money. It is data driven decision making and reduce the unnecessary use of input materials. We can reduce this. Then in India especially, it is wastage of crops. We know that if one area is having a very high labor productivity, or if there is high production of one of the veggies in other areas, those veggies are not at all grown at all. So in such cases, what is happening? The best example for that, we can take it as the tomato or the onion which is grown in some of the places may not be grown in other areas. Now the place where these onions are not grown, there the rate of onion might have touched the sky, but here the onions are being thrown on the roads. This is called as what? The wastage of crops, because we are not using the technology. If we use cloud computing here, if we use the artificial intelligence in such sectors, then I can bet you the goods which are being wasted on the roads can be transported easily to the place where the production is very less, or the growth of such veggies are not there at all. Okay, so there is an statistical data which tells that crop worth the $14 million are wasted every year in India. Just to see what is the statistical data, just to see. So the agri entrepreneurs, they have to support the government in creating a storage facilities so that they can use these materials or these produce whenever there is need. And more importantly, they have to utilize or they have to make use of the information technology so that these goods can be transported at ease. Now let us study about the technology in farming. Technology is growing every now and then. Where we cannot find technology, everywhere we find technology. Artificial intelligence is present, internet of things is present, everywhere we can find digital technologies, digital softwares. Digital India was the way. Digital technologies such as remote sensing, geographic information system, internet of things, coupled with a data driven decision making and analytics, they hold the key to the improved farm productivity, minimized farm wastages, and increases the farmer's income. We did not have such type of things when our forefathers used to do the farming, but now technology, a big thanks to technology, wherein they have innovated new means, they have innovated new things wherein we can have such type of things. We can use these technologies to increase the produce, to not to waste the crops as well as to transport the goods at ease. Remote sensing GIS can be used to provide the biogeophysical data for the agriculture, crop monitoring, agromet advisory services, etc. In 2015, there was a startup where they provided all these services free of cost to the farmers. Its name was Satsure, and this was an analytics startup which was founded in 2015, and they gave importance to remote sensing. There was a farmer. He was engineering. He was electrical engineering by profession. He did his engineering, and afterwards he got a good job at Pune. He was working over there, and due to some reasons he had to come back to his village. And when he came back to his village and saw his field, or saw his farm, the field where his father was doing the agriculture, he thought that he has to do something for that. He bought a chip, and in that chip he sensed he put a sensor wherein it feels the warmth of the soil. He put these chips in the soil, and then he tested, or he experimented as to how it is going to work. Now, as soon as the warmth of the soil was decreasing, he would get a sense, or he would get a message on his mobile that the warmth of the soil is decreasing. Immediately, he used to tell any of his friends or his family members who were near the crop, so that they could water the fields. And this was the startup. This was the start where he started utilizing whatever he had studied. He started experimenting whatever he had studied in his engineering, and he became a successful farmer entrepreneur, or the farm entrepreneur, or in short I can tell him as an agri entrepreneur. Okay, so we are having so many things, so we are having so many examples where we can prove that even the IIT and NIT students also have become a successful entrepreneur. Internet of Things, what we have studied, can also be used to enhance the agricultural productivity by manifolds. IoT is the best and the smart farming technique which is used for monitoring the crop field with the help of the sensors. The example what I gave you now. These sensors, they provide the critical body data like temperature or the soil moisture, light, humidity, etc. And these also, they are going to monitor the crop health. If there are if the plant has caught in the insects, that also it is being transmitted. Now this helps the farmers to come to know at what stage they have to provide the insecticides, the pesticides, etc. to the fields. Agri production life cycle, it makes the farm activity much more easier. It is potentially more productive and efficient. Now let us study the opportunities which are created by the agri entrepreneurs. M3 Agri, this is a Noida based company. It provides per use farm services for every stage of agri production life cycle, which includes the services related to land development, seeding, sowing the plants, plant care, post harvest services, and hence they are going to maximize the profit. Then we are having another which is called as Crow Farm. This is also a significant in providing the farmers with a better deal for their produce. It is a farm to business venture. Now this they are going to combine with the smart logistics, and they are going to reduce the post harvest loss. The post harvest loss which helps the farmers in better price discovery for their produce. Fine. Then we are having a gold farm. This is very useful, and you might have heard about this gold farm also. This is a farm equipment aggregator which partners the local entrepreneur. Local entrepreneur in the sense the rural entrepreneurs who are there in the rural areas. They can invest in the farm equipments, and these farm equipment in turn are rented in the villages to the farmers. Whoever wants, they can take it on hourly basis, and they can return it back. Now these rent which are being charged, they are very at a nominal rate, they are not exorbitant. It is being charged at a nominal cost. This is usually being done in India, especially in the places where it is labor intensive, or the farmers don't have the capacity to purchase all such types of farm equipments. Now let us study about the 16 farm entrepreneurs of the whole world. Now these, they have brought a great revolution in farm entrepreneurship. The first one is from Kenya, and his name is Jamila Abbas. He is a co-founder of M-Farmer, a virtual cooperative for subsistence farmers in Kenya. Now this, they are going to, what is their firm? Their firm is going to reach the buyers, access the vital market informations through SMS, and through M-Farmer, farmers in the same areas can share their experiences as well as advice. This was being inbuilt by Mr. Jamil Abbas. The next one is Mr. from Nigeria, and his name is Onyeka Akuma. He was a co-founder of Farm Crowdy. This is a digital agriculture platform which connects the small scale farmers with sponsors who invest in the full farm cycle. Now these small scale sponsors, they fund these organizations, they fund the secure farmland and ensure the farmers and their produce from seed through the investment throughout the harvesting. Once the crops are sold to market, profit is split between the farmers, farm sponsors and Farm Crowdy. Sponsors can also receive the updates throughout the farming process via the text or the pictures or the videos which are being recorded by the farmers, and they are being sent so that they will come to know as to exactly what is happening in the farm. The next one is Alice Chain from United States. This is the 4th generation farmer, and he was the founder and the executive director of first generation farmer. He, after going for school programs, summer camp, farm tours, these workers on the organic farmers, they provide the placements. Now this is the best. The program provides training in foundation production skills, business knowledge, personal development to establish the next generation of resilient urban farmers and farm entrepreneurs. Okay, the next one is from Mexico, Alfredo Castillo. He is an electrical and a computer science engineering graduate student, and he was the founder of BitGrange, a hydroponic system that can be sustained using only LED lights. Using novel software, BitGrange evaluates the environmental variables such as temperature and light in real time, as well as notifies the growers through BitRange's iPhone app to take necessary actions such as adding more water or plant food to the plants like insecticides or the pesticides. Luke Raven from United Kingdom is the next person. He is a co-founder of Bijmini, an award-winning startup that farms crickets and produces high-protein cricket blended flour. Powerful flour. We know that this cricket insect is good in proteins. This the growing of protein, it needs very less investment as well as very less space. The flour is rich in vitamins, minerals, and is an alternative to traditional farm of animal protein. The next one is Matt Foundation from Scotland, and he is a founder of Freedom Bakery, a social enterprise and an artisan bakery aimed at reducing the re-offending rate in Scotland through providing on-the-job baking training for prisoners and ex-offenders. This was needed actually in the present scenario. Freedom Bakery is the first social enterprise to establish itself within the prison in Scotland and is now expanding outside the prison to open up a second bakery of Freedom 2. Josh Gilbert from Australia. He is the first and the foremost. He was an advocate by profession, and he was a change maker in Australia for agriculture as well as environmental fields. He has a range of campaigning and educational these materials, including climate reality project video, Australia's Young Green Farmers. For his advocacy, he has been recognized as the Australian Geographic and Young Conservationist of the Year and Foundation for Young Australians Local Legend Award. The next person is Dean Hale from Canada. He is a founder of Growing Green Hamilton, which aims to advance urban agriculture by helping the people grow their own produce through square foot gardening. This is a method of people with limited space to plan and create a small but intensively planted vegetable garden. Hale helps the members in the local community to cultivate square foot gardens, providing a nutrient-rich soil mix that is weed-free, requires no fertilizers, and it can grow up to 5 times the amount of produce than conventional methods. The next person, Cut Hoffman from United Kingdom. He is a CEO of Grow Up Urban Farms, a community aquaponic urban farm that produces fish, salads, herbs for local London market. Their grow box is capable of producing more than 950 pounds of sustainable salads and herbs and 330 pounds of fish each year. This person is also selected as London leader by the London Sustainable Development Commission in 2015. Justin Kamin from United States. He is growing technologies that actively shift the agriculture world toward a more circular agricultural society where there is zero wastages. The next person is from India, Santosh Kaveri. He worked on family farm before and after going to school to help his family. In college, he joined the Leaders Accelerating Development, that is LEAD, which is being a program of a Deshpande Foundation in Hubli, which is there in Karnataka, and began developing practical solutions for small-scale farmers. They include water efficient, no electricity, carrot cleaning machine, which is helping hundreds of farmers without no electricity, and 10 villages and a bullock cart brake system that reduces stress on farmers. Kaveri was presented the Best Leader Award in 2013 and 14 for his carrot cleaning machine and other successful initiatives, which has brought a crown to Karnataka. The next is Kristin Mausoli from United States. He is a co-founder of Full Harvest, the first business-to-business produce marketplace connecting large farm to food and beverages companies to buy misshapen to surplus produce. The next person is from United Kingdom, Solviga. He is the co-founder of Soul, Mimiaka Lab and designer of Mimica Touch, a tactile food expiry label made from gelatin. The bioreactive food expiry label is checked by touch. If it's smooth, food is still fresh, and if it is bumpy, the food has been spoiled. Initially, this was developed as for the visionary impaired, those who cannot see the food. This award-winning food label has a potential to dramatically reduce household food waste and is currently in development. It has won multiple awards for her work, including the London's 2015 Low Carbon Entrepreneur Award, the Guardian's Award, Startup of the Year Award, James Dyson Award, etc. They have added feather to her cap. Ilay Sulaiman from Malaysia. He has founded Agag, a restaurant that provides 1-year apprenticeship program for young youths who want to become chefs. It is being given for underprivileged communities in Malaysia. In this apprenticeship, they are being taught a wide range of food services skills, food preparation, cooking, training in managing and operating on eateries, etc. The last one is Xian from China, founder of Little Donkey Farm, the first community supported agriculture in China. After learning about this model, They have launched this to implement organic and sustainable farming methods that engage the local farmers as well as the consumers. Now let us study the NIT and the IIT students who have made their agri entrepreneurship. You might be worrying or you might be horrifying to know that even IIT and NITs are having their Agri-Tech startup Expert is co-founded by students of IIT Guwahati and alumni of NIT Silchar. Dilbrugh University Assam developed a multilingual smartphone application for the farmers. The application has been developed for the farmers so that they can smartly manage their farms and remotely monitor the distress activities. Driven by hyper-local crop data coming from the satellite and the smart IoT devices, AgSpeak considers up to 20 local crop parameters which are the key indicators of their health, like the temperature, the sunlight, the soil health status, etc., which is going to alert the farmers, and also they are going to bring about the threats in advance. It also suggests the best practices to tackle the incoming threat, and hence it optimizes the produce. Expert is co-founded by Siddharth Bora. He is an NIT Silchar. Next one is Mr. Manik Mittal. He is an IIT student. Akash Sharma, IIT student. Nitin Chauhan, IIT student. And also Kokil Pran Goswami. He is from Dibrugarh University, Assam. Agri-Tech was startup founded by so many entrepreneurs, that is IIT entrepreneurs. Now let us study about another entrepreneur and IIT, who is Dehat. They are serving 65,000 farmers in Bihar, Uttar Pradesh and Odisha. It helps them to connect with agricultural input suppliers and buyers for their produce. The funding team includes IIT Kharagpur, IIM Jamshedpur, IIM Ahmedabad alumnus, NIT Jamshedpur alumnus Amarendra Singh, IIT Dhanabad alumni Adarsh Srivatsav, as well as Abhishek. And they have created a revolution in their place. It is a mobile app which helps the physical center. These orders are then sent to the micro entrepreneurs, identified them with the local community, and they are being trained by Dehat. Based on the farmer's profile, for example, location, crop, soil condition or the seed variety, they offer a customized and a free crop advisory services every week. For example, if this week if a farmer is growing variety of tomatoes, then they advise them on when to irrigate them, when they can have the preventive measures so that they can save their input cost, how they have to enhance the soil fertility, and how they can sell their produce through platform to big buyers like ITC, Godrej, Reliance Fresh or Metro Cash or Spencer's, etc. Now let us study the nascent areas where we can have the agri entrepreneurship development. We are having the input management where we can have a livestock feed. Next, machinery investments, fertilizers, pesticides, etc. Agro infrastructure where we can take the help of the transportation and communication services, power, irrigations, diesel, agro-based production such as high-yield variety of seeds, wherein there are so many companies to name them, Rasi seeds or your Syngenta seeds or etc. Floriculture, horticulture, pisciculture, fisheries, animal husbandry, livestock, dairy farming, etc. All these come under agri-entrepreneurship. Even we are having agri-processing, that is the fruit processing industry, sugarcane processing industry, dairy products, contract farming, cooperative farming, retail farming, value chain management, etc. Agri marketing and agri services, they are having the storage, warehousing, sorting, grading, standardizing, packaging, labeling, advertising, etc. All these come under the agri entrepreneurship. Agri science and technology is also growing more and more. Agri climate study, disaster management, pre-harvest and post-harvest technology, input management, sorry, farm management, finance management, risk management, agriculture marketing management. We can have the agri tourism where one of the farmer, Sunil Bhosle, he was living in his village in Pune district, and he was having 13 acres of land. And when he came across so many people who used to come to his place, and they used to appreciate the place, and he stuck with an idea, and he changed his farm into agri tourism, and now we can see so many people visiting his farm. He has developed the Agri Tourism Development Organization and opened his tourist in the June last year with 300 to 350 per person. He is earning a lot. Hence, I conclude by telling that agripreneurship could play a key role in revamping Indian agro-based sectors by giving a special emphasis on the promotion of food processing sector. India is among the world's major producer of food products and food processing industry, which can become a key in boosting the economic growth of the country. It is in the top position in the production of cereals, livestock, milk, fruits and vegetables. And hence, friends, students, come. It is a good investment opportunity existing in the areas of food processing industries like fruit and vegetable processing, meat, fish, poultry processing, packaged and convenience food and drink, milk products, etc. So I welcome you all for this agri business. Thank you. See you all.